Just so you know, the only thing that ABC has done was create a hole they're going to have a hard time getting out of. You see, even while the right was boycotting them for being too woke and all that kind of jazz, they were still able to float and to fly because those of us not on the right still kept them in business. I mean, we believed in things like X-Men and Avengers and, being different and fighting the good fight and fighting against evil and standing up for people and all these things that the Too Woke channel had been feeding us since we were young, by the way, since we were young. But I want to tell you that their misstep with Kimmel isn't their only one. Just recently, I was watching a forensics video where a man studied behavior and body language, and he caught something very interesting. I'm going to let the last 3 minutes of this video play so that you can watch exactly what he caught. Now, in it, he compares two different sources of the arraignment, I guess that was, for a certain somebody who is being accused of having single-handedly silenced a voice. I'm smiling because I'm trying very hard to think of the mental gymnastics of inserting a different thing that might not trigger a certain thing on this platform that is now purchased. Anyway, y'all watch this. So it's of the arraignment that I guess was playing online, and one news source channel from Utah, the other news source channel from ABC. Look at the difference. Let me know what you think.
It's really interesting and frustrating, and I discovered something that no one else has talked about, and I don't blame them because what happened to me was very specific. So what happened is I first saw it on Instagram, and I said, wow, this guy's not giving him anything. And then when I was going to do this analysis, I went on YouTube and I searched for the whole footage, and I came across the version on ABC News. And as I was watching it, I saw something completely different. Watch this.
Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. That concludes reading the information. Mr. Robinson,
please tell me you notice the difference. In this version, when the judge said that Tyler intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of his belief or perception of Charlie Kirk's political expression, as he's saying because of Charlie Kirk's political expression, we see Tyler nod downwards, the same way he does when he acknowledges things. And in that moment, I'm looking at that going, wait a second, like this whole time he was stoic, and this one moment we're in this slip up where he's going, yep, that's why I did it.
Kirk's political expression.
But there was a little voice in my head that was like, wait a second, I saw this on Instagram earlier, and he never acknowledged anything. I was looking specifically for that, so there's no way I would have missed that. So I took both clips. I took the ABC News one that I was watching that has tons of views online, and then I compared it directly to another one that I found that was from a news source in Salt Lake City, and I synced up the audio to where the judge is saying the same thing. And I looked at Tyler, and it wasn't the same thing. In the local one, in the Salt Lake City one, all the charges are read, he doesn't react, and then when the judge says that concludes the charges or whatever, when he's concluded, that's when we see the acknowledgement like this. So Tyler goes, good, okay, we're done, I get it, acknowledge. So I'm gonna play them side by side. I'm gonna show you this clip, and on the right, the little box, that's ABC News, and you'll even hear that the audio is synced, and on the left is the one from the news station from Salt Lake City. And look at when that nod hits. On ABC, it's an acknowledgement to the charge. On the Salt Lake City one, it's an acknowledgement to we've concluded.
Because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. That concludes reading the information. Mr. Robinson.
To clarify, in the beginning they were both synced, and it seemed like the responses that he was giving were timed well with what was being said. And then at this moment, I realized that the clips were out of sync. So I'm watching one of them, and I'm watching him not react throughout and only react when it's done to acknowledge, okay, we're done. And that one, by the way, is on a network called KUTV2 News, that's in Salt Lake City. But then on ABC News, one of the biggest news platforms of the country, I'm seeing this report that's been seen by tons of people out there. And when he's being told, when the judge is saying the motive for having done this, which is political expression, we're seeing an acknowledgement. And listen, you don't need to be a body language analyst to see that acknowledgement, right? The judge is saying that Tyler specifically chose Charlie Kirk because of his political beliefs. You're seeing the guy in that moment acknowledge it like this, the way he's acknowledged other things before. Seriously, what are we doing here? The year is 2025. Why does this footage look like it was filmed on a potato from the 17th century? Everything is choppy, everything is laggy. So what I did is I looked at both clips and tried to listen and look at the judge to see which one is more synced with his audio. And in both cases, it was, again, super laggy, pixelated, choppy, but it does seem like the one on KUTV makes a little more sense. With the way that the judge is moving when he's speaking and the way like he puts the papers down, it looks like it makes a little bit more sense and lines up with him finishing and Tyler just acknowledging that that concludes the charges. But I have no way of knowing that for sure. I don't know where that lie came from. And even if the judge seems synced, how do I know for sure that the feed that we're getting from Tyler is at the right time? Who's to say which of the two got it right? When you have two news outlets playing the same audio, the same footage, but the guy who's on trial in one of the most high-profile cases right now in all of America, and we can't see what the guy's reaction is. Why are we even filming this? All right, thanks for listening to my rant. I hope